Welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. And today we have our monthly feature, which is called Social Booth Camp with Gogo Bethke. Now, if you're new to the show and haven't ever listened to this monthly series that we have with Gogo, let me tell you a little bit about her. Now, Gogo Bethke came to the United States in 2003 to build her American dream. She was broke. She had no sphere of influence, no experience, barely spoke English, and went only $6 to her name, which left her with nothing else but Facebook to build her real estate business. And that's where she started. She created Gogo's real estate, and her real estate career began. Now, with the power of social media, Gogo has sold over 45 million in residential real estate transactions. She shares the good, the bad, and the ugly side of real estate and her honest snippets into her everyday life. I've got her tens of thousands of social media followers in the real estate community, and she has earned the nickname, the social media queen. She has also earned income, of course. After being asked to present at various realtor events, Gogo built a social media boot camp for realtors called Gogo's Boot Camp. Now, today, she has a team of over 130 real estate agents all over the country and is growing every day. Now, her goal is to help as many agents as possible make a name for themselves in real estate. And if she can do it, a girl from Transylvania, Romania, with no U.S. education, no sphere of influence, no money, and no experience, and with an accent, then you can do it as well. We're going to ask everyone right now to pause this and go find Gogo on Instagram at Gogo's Real Estate, Gogos Real Estate. And we'll also be posting a link to it here. Also, we highly recommend signing up for Gogo's Boot Camp. For our listeners, we have a special website set up with a discount. Please visit gogopodcast.com. That's Gogo podcast.com. And once again, welcome, Gogo, to the show.
Thank you for having me. Highlight of my month.
What? I'm sorry, say it. What was that?
Highlight of my month.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I look forward to talking to you every month.
Gogo and we're struggling a little bit today. And so we are bringing it because I don't know if it's like what it's like in Michigan right now. It is beautiful outside here in Illinois. It's in the 60s. And it is to that point of the day where I'm looking outside. I haven't got to spend a lot of time outside. You probably haven't either. And I just want to go outside and enjoy the sunshine. What's it like in Michigan right now?
Same. I mean, we had in the 20s, the last few days, it actually snowed and all that. And it finally came up to, it was supposed to be 57 today. So we were so excited. And I did get a chance to sit on the deck for like 20 minutes. And it's not that warm. Like, it looks sunny, but it's pretty cold. So I ended up coming back inside. But yeah, I had a 10 o'clock podcast and 11 o'clock live. And then now I'm here with you again on a podcast. So I don't see much of the outside either. And even during this COVID, I feel like I have been so busy. You?
Yeah, I'm doing just as much work as I did. I'm actually going into the office where my boss and I are here just because checks come in and we have to deposit them. And but I mean, really, I'm just as busy as ever. I would be at home if I didn't have to, pick up checks and things. But it's amazing. All the realtors I've interviewed, the top producers like yourself, are all staying pretty busy, whether they're running a team or if it's just their own private practice. I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about this just before we started. I was, and it's easy to get really emotional about it. And this is about social media engagement. So I was telling Gogo before we started that that our listenership has grown, which we're grateful for. Every month it grows a bit, and it grew from last month. And the reason I was checking it, I really don't look at it very often because it really it's nice to see, but it doesn't really matter. We're just going to keep doing this even if we only have one listener. We're going to keep putting out episodes. Thankfully, we keep getting more. But the one thing that has gone down, thankfully not the listenership, but our engagement on Facebook. So even though we're doing the same exact type of posts that we've done in the past that have got pretty decent responses, likes, comments, shares, we're just not seeing it. We know people are listening, but we don't see a lot of engagement on Facebook. And I was curious if you're seeing any of that same activity or lack of activity in your own business.
Absolutely. Something is definitely, I feel like, and again, this is my opinion. I'm no scientist of Facebook, but definitely something going on with Facebook. Same on mine, the activity so I put everything on Instagram. I automatically feed it over to Facebook. So it's the same exact post, same image, same time of the day, same blah, blah, blah. It automatically goes over there. On Instagram, I might get hundreds, if not thousands of likes and hundreds of comments. And on Instagram or on Facebook, I'll get 35 likes and 3 comments.
Yeah.
Same exact post, same exact everything, same time of the day, everything is the same. So I think Facebook is definitely limiting us and our followers of what they're going to see. I understand they want us to pay because it's a business page. They want us to throw money at it. The part that kind of frustrates me, as I was telling you, it's not that I don't want to throw money at it. If I want to reach people that they didn't already opt in, they didn't already choose to follow me,
sure.
If I want to reach those people, I understand I have to pay for it because they don't know of my existence.
Yeah, it's advertising. Yeah,
it's advertising. Facebook is going to push me to make sure that that person is going to see my account in hopes that they're going to follow me. Okay, but with the ones that already follow me, the ones that already opted in, who knows, 7 years ago, the fact that they don't show them my post unless I give money to them, that's right. Annoying. That is not cool. I already earned that. I worked hard for that. Those people opted in to follow me. I give them a reason to. I post, I'm consistent, I share knowledge, I'm the expert. So I get annoyed by having to pay. So Instagram seems to be working much better at these times. LinkedIn is working very good at this time.
Yeah.
So I would probably concentrate more so your energy over there unless you want to throw money at it. Just kind of have a presence on Facebook, feed everything over there, let it just kind of be there, have an existence until Facebook figures out what's going on and figure out their algorithm and allows us to do more than what they're truly allowing us to do now.
Yeah, I have a thought about Facebook, which is just as I've gotten older, I plan all of our high school reunions. I'm the guy that plans the high school reunion, which is like the most thankless job, but I like doing it, but yeah. It is a lot of work. But what's funny is, and we do it through Facebook. I mean, we do it through other ways too, but that seems to be the easiest way to get in touch with everyone for my class. I'm 43, so we just had our 25th anniversary last year. Anyway, makes me feel old, but regardless, I'm
having our 20th this year, so you're good.
You won't be old for another 5 years. No, I'm teasing. I don't feel old at all, but it is funny because as you know, and I'm 43. So as people my age, I see their posts on Facebook much less. I think they're posting much less as well. I think they're not participating on Facebook as much. And I'm also wondering, maybe that's the reason why engagement's down, less activity, Facebook, obviously
for me, it seems like on the personal side, there's plenty of activity. There's plenty of people posting, memes and political things and this and that and what they're doing at home and what are they eating and, how the homeschooling is going. Like there are plenty of things
that's true.
Posting and they are getting a lot of activity on there. So that's why I'm thinking it's the algorithm on the business page side that is tapping our posts. They're just not getting even the view. It's just not even showing up in the feeds.
Yeah. Well, they know that the average a personal account is likely not going to spend money, right? A business account is 1,000 times more likely to promote a post for $15. So who knows? But yeah, so I guess the point we're making is if you're seeing lower engagement on Facebook, you're not alone on your business pages. Doesn't mean you should stop posting. In fact, maybe you should even post more, not necessarily, more unless it's great content, but just understand that, it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, and then periodically share it back over to your personal page. So then your personal friends can see it. And that will generate you more traffic back to your page. I just think like Facebook maybe have gone a little bit wrong with making it so strict. Because if at least they let us to have access to half of our people, then at least I know, I know why I do this. I know why I'm paying you $10 is to get that action, that correspondence on my post. But if my post is right now at 2 likes, I'm not going to give you $10 so I can get to 12.
Right. You're right. And I have a quick tip for everyone. This has worked really well for us on our Keeping It Real podcast page on Facebook. Whenever anyone likes a post, especially if it's shared, right? So if it's shared, you're going to, by someone else, you're obviously going to get access to some of their followers who might engage with the content. So if you are getting likes, you should invite all of those people. Facebook makes it really easy to invite them to like your page. When you create the page, you can send a mass one out to everyone in your contact list. But I love the people that like. I find that about a third to a half of them will actually end up liking your page because they've already liked a piece of content. You just hit that invite button, it takes 2 seconds, and it sends it to them. So if you're not doing that on Facebook, you absolutely should. Yeah. And ask the people who follow you to share your content. Say, hey, if you found this valuable, please send it to someone else. And yeah.
Yes. No, that's a great idea. And in order to do that, the way you find that is you go to the where it says how many people liked it. If it says, 56 people liked it, you're going to click that number 56. It's going to give you a list and it's going to show you everybody who is not following the page, but liked that post. So then you're going to invite them to follow the page.
Yeah, it's a great suggestion. It's easy to forget to do that because then maybe you've already done 4 more posts and then somebody goes back and likes something 5 posts ago. So you have to go back through your feed. Just do it once or twice a week. Go to everything you posted. Look at, like as Gogo said, click on the number of likes link, and it'll show you everyone. And it really quickly shows you. Just click a button. You can do it in 2 seconds and move on. And you'll find a lot of those people end up liking your page. I wanted to also ask you about just in general, you're in Michigan, real estate is a non-essential in that state as of today. Hopefully that changes for you guys shortly, but a lot of states it's that way. Here in Illinois, we're thankfully able to still practice. We're deemed essential, but it's different everywhere in the country. What are you doing or what are you seeing agents doing to stay busy, being that you can't go to showings? You can't go to closings. Or you can, but it's real tricky. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so we have to improvise a lot on both sides of the transaction. So on the buying side, we're not allowed to show houses. So buyers are making offers pretty much sight unseen. I cannot take them to the property, but the inspector can. So that doesn't make sense. So when they're doing the home inspection, so they get the offer accepted, sight unseen, and then when they do the home inspection is when the buyer gets to go with the inspector and actually see the home for the first time. So I'm like, that doesn't make much sense, but it is what it is. So they can do that. We are actually having a 6 o'clock online virtual interviewing process. So a buyer is interviewing us to see if it would be a good fit to be their realtor. And they're coming from they're actually coming from Chicago. Now that I think about it, yeah. So that's different. Like that's my first of all, I've never interviewed for a buyer realtor job. So that's a first, but I certainly never done it on Zoom. So that is going to be different. So the things that you can do now is to fill up the pipeline. I don't know if you knew this, but you can create a Calendly link, give access to people to your calendar. So you can say, hey, I'm doing listing side presentations Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 to 8, pick a spot. I'm doing buy side presentation Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays from 11 to 1, pick a spot. And then that way they plug themselves into your calendar. Now you can do these Zoom calls with them, see ahead of time if you would be a good fit. So then finally when the time comes around, you already have your pipeline built. So that's one way of, do it from home. Facebook also allows you to set up appointments in there. So you can do listing appointments and buy-side appointments right in your Facebook business page calendar, and then just give people access to that and just make a post about it. Say, hey guys, I know we are not essential, which means I am not able to leave my house, but that doesn't mean that I cannot work real estate. I can do everything that I can do virtually. So we are doing listing side and buy side, presentations, and pick a spot. Here's my calendar. I can't wait to be a realtor, and just kind of leave it up to them to pick a spot in your calendar. So then on the listing side, we have to improvise a lot. So listing presentations virtual. So we are having a conversation just like this. Most of them are my friends, or they've known me that I'm in the industry for a long time. So I'm not interviewing for the job, but I still have to explain them the process of what it's going to take, and especially now with how is it different with COVID. So we are still listing even though we are not able to actually go out and see the property. So we don't have yard signs, we don't have log boxes, I can't take measurements, none of that. We have to take previous listing measurements. What we are doing for the pictures and the videos, we're actually asking our sellers to take iPhone photos, which I've been preaching for ever since I had a license. Don't ever, always hire a
Sure.
professional. Now
Sure.
I have to. I don't have any other options because I am not allowed to schedule a photographer to go out to the property. So the sellers have to take the photos, but what we do, they send it back to us, and then our VA or the photographer will edit them, just depending what the quality of the pictures are. We'll edit those. Also, our sellers are doing virtual tours. So we ask the sellers to create one nice walkthrough of the property and just kind of look at it from the eye of the buyer. What would they want to see if they were buying this home? What questions would they want to have answered? So as they're walking through the kitchen, for example, they can say, they're all stainless steel matching appliances. They're less than 5 years old. All are staying with the property. This is a pull-out pantry. This is a blah, blah, blah. The kitchen sink has a grinder, the trash compactor, blah, blah, blah. Kind of just like walking through as if they were buying a home virtually, and if they had the questions, make sure to answer them. So they're doing that. We're uploading those to YouTube and then turning them into like a professional virtual tour, and then including those links with a text code with our smartphone number, where people can just text our smartphone number a code like 4040, sure, and then they are going to get the virtual tour in return. So a lot of improvisation and closing on Friday. Now that is a whole other trying to figure it out. Our title companies will not allow, if the seller and the buyer have their own title company, neither title company allows the other party to close at their place unless that title company is closing them. So now we have to have totally separate closings. Because buyers and sellers close at a different time, not even at the same time, even if they are with the same title company, they don't want them in the same room. Now there are 2 times that we need. So we can just have a 12 o'clock, the 12 o'clock window. Now we have to have the 12 and the 11, or the 12 and the 1 for both parties. So it's just, or if they have multiple rooms, they have to put multiple rooms. So we cannot be there at the closing. My best to represent my client is via Zoom if they allow me to do that. So yeah, we had to improvise a lot.
Yeah. I wanted to ask your opinion about this because I was thinking about this recently, that we are all now hooked on video conferencing. Specifically, Zoom is kind of the big one of the day. Who knows if Zoom will be as popular in the future, but there will be video conferencing. And I really think that even when everything returns to normal, this is going to be the norm of, especially with people you haven't, now with your clients, yes, you won't need to do this as often, although you certainly can. But I really think that this will become, whereas in the past, if you were meeting with a client, a listing presentation, maybe, or a buyer who you've never met before, maybe you'd meet them at your office or at a Starbucks or someplace neutral and safe. I think now that's all going to happen here. And Gogo, you were saying this on the last time we did an episode, which was to say, now's the time to get more comfortable being on camera. It doesn't mean you have to perform, but to realize that this is the new normal. And yes, eventually we'll all go back to our regular lives in the regular ways we've done things. But I think this is here to stay. I was curious to get your thoughts on it.
I think both. I think it's definitely, the question is not if it's here to stay. I think it is here and it is staying. It's not going anywhere. In many occasions, it's amazing. Like, especially when you have out of state clients, to have the ability to meet face to face like this prior to deciding if you want to work with one another. It's awesome. So it's definitely here to stay. But I do think that we outstayed our welcome on Zoom the last 6 weeks. So I feel like when we get released back, at least me and me, I can't talk for everyone, but I am excited to be up in people's business, in their personal space. I'm excited to hug people. I'm excited to be in the same room. I'm excited to, do all that. Just shake a hand. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot wait to be back to that. So I'm not going to hop on a Zoom unless I absolutely have to.
Right.
I'm excited to meet someone in a coffee shop.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be great for a lot of people have phone anxiety, right? A lot of realtors think they should pick up the phone and they don't, right? This is ever since people have had telephones and there's been sales type positions, they call phone phobia or phone anxiety. And now it's so cool because you can actually do that via video conferencing. And it is a more intimate and connected experience, even though you're still miles away and maybe hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away. You're able to at least see somebody. So I think that for a lot of us, this is, and you were talking about this before we started recording, about what a great time it is to reach out to your clients. Obviously, right now is not the time to go, hey, do you know of any other buyers or sellers that could benefit from my services? That's probably not the best timing for
No.
that kind of, but it is great timing to have face-to-face conversations with people who are stuck at home and are maybe lonely and starved for some human attention. And they're not going to be able to get that hug today, but they can get, at least a virtual hug through this video conferencing.
Yes. And yes, I totally agree with you. It is not the time to be asking for business. It is the time to help one another. I think it is the time to reach out to your sphere of influence, your past clients, the people that you have in your database, just to see how they're doing. Do they need help? Is there anything that you can do for them? In the previous market crashes, or the last one especially, there was no equity. People didn't have equity, and that was the biggest problem. Now 70 to 80% of the people have equity in their home. And most may not even understand that they could tap into that. If they were having a financial hardship right now, maybe they don't qualify for the stimulus package. Maybe they don't qualify for unemployment, and they just don't know where the money is going to come from. If they have equity in their home, they could potentially tap into that, and they could take that money out and float themselves in this time, or maybe just have that cushion to know that I have it if I need it. And yeah, would you benefit from that? No, because you're not going to make a commission off of that. But here is your time to help. So you can call them, see if they need that help. If they say that, yeah, you know what, that might be a great idea for us, you might be able to use that money, then you can say, hey, I'll run a quick CMA. What is the address of your property? I'll tell you what I think it's approximately worth today on the market. Then minus what you owe on it is your equity. Now, if there's a number that you're happy with, that like, yep, you have some equity, then I can also recommend some of the lenders that I've worked with through the years, and I would recommend for you to call them. Now, give them that vendor list or lenders list, have them make that phone call. From that moment, your job is done so that the lender is going to take it over. If they qualify, if they're able to get a HELOC or an equity line, then, they can take it from there, and you help them out. You at least help them how much the home is approximately worth. They will still have to do an appraisal and all that, but at least they would know, yeah, we have equity, or no, we don't. And you help them. So next time when they do need a realtor, who would they call? Who else but you? Because you already helped them at the time of need.
Well, and just think, you're so right. And think about how many other professionals you have in your life that you pay fees to on a regular basis. How often do any of those professionals reach out proactively and say, I was just thinking about you. I wanted to see, number one, how you're doing. And I also had this thought just to float it by you to see if it might ring true for your current situation. Hey, by the way, just in case, you didn't know, rates are at an all-time low. So, what some folks are doing who are looking for cash opportunities is they refinance. And, anyway, just thought I'll shoot you an email about it. But anyway, that's providing tremendous value to people right now. And, you need to do it in a very delicate and considerate way. But by having those conversations, you are going to be, as Gogo, you just said, you're going to be in some ways very heroic to them. And you're not benefiting directly, but you're benefiting.
Actually working for absolutely nothing, because you still have to run that CMA. It's still going to take you some time. You're investing time for that initial call. You're investing time to caring about them. You're investing time when you're creating the CMA and emailing it back over to them. You're investing time and effort by sharing the connections that you made through your career with all those lenders that you're going to provide their information to them. So yeah, you're investing some time, but you're investing it with the hope that you will earn their business in return one day.
Yeah. And you're just demonstrating care and compassion. And I can assure you that the vast majority of the people that they pay professional service fees to at some point are not doing, right? Is the attorney who did their will reaching out to them? Probably not, right? Is the insurance agent reaching out to them? Probably not. Who knows? Is the dentist reaching out? Probably not. These are opportunities for you to be one of the few people in their life that demonstrates that you care, and that just pays a multitude in return. It doesn't pay today, but it will pay tomorrow in business and referrals. It's a really a no-brainer.
Exactly. And who knows? Some might have to sell. But sure. That you just shouldn't start a conversation with that, in my opinion. Not at the time of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Back to social media, because obviously your boot camp is amazing because it teaches realtors step by step, A to Z, how to, create a powerful social media presence so that you can attract of course, more followers, and then build a more real estate business as a result. What are you telling your boot camp followers right now? What are some of the, is there anything in particular that's really working as far as just keeping realtors busy on social media so that they're able to produce content that the clients are and that their followers are interested in?
Yeah, I think sharing the knowledge is very important. So if you learn something about the real estate industry that applies to your area, definitely just create a quick video about it. You don't have to know all of the answers. You might just say, you know what, NAR just released an article about blah, blah, blah. You kind of read that article, repeated what you just read, and then include the attachment as an article so they can follow up with that. But by just sharing what's going on, then the people can follow along, the ones that do have a care about the real estate industry, because not everybody does. But if they do, they have something, you provided them information, which in return is going to just automatically make you the local expert because you're sharing that information. So I think that's very important. Also, in the last episode, we talked about using this time to get the reviews and feedbacks, because when we are selling, we are too busy. We don't have the time to make sure we have the 5 stars everywhere, or even that you have a Google My Business presence. You might not even have it set up. So I think this time is very important to do that. Also, this time is very important to figure out the things that you usually don't have time to do. So if social media was the one that, hey, I want to figure it out, it's not going to take 2 minutes. It took me, I'm 10 years in. That's why everybody wants, like, what can I do today? Well, I wish I could teach you everything I learned the last 10 years in one day. But again, it's going to take time. So if you want social media to be your breadwinner, then you're going to have to put some time in. Because in life, everything is like that. In order to take money out, I always call it an ATM. In order to take money out, you're going to have to take time. You have to put time in. You have to put effort in. So same thing with social media. So I think this is a perfect time to sit down. My boot camp, I totally recommend it, but it's not 2 minutes long. We're coming out with Finesse 2.0 right now. Finesse alone is 108 videos. So I can't teach you Facebook ads in one video. I can't teach you organic social media in one video. I wish I could. But if it was that simple, then everybody would be an influencer. So in order for me to teach you everything, how to have millions in imprints and how to get leads and never have to buy one and how to build a brand organically without spending money, it's going to take some time. So my bootcamp is probably at least a good 30 hours of video content.
Yeah.
So if you want to figure this out, this is the perfect time, because you have nothing else to do but sit on the couch and decide, okay, I'll get 4 hours in today, 4 hours in tomorrow. And as you're going along, the whole point is to get all those steps done. So when I'm talking about the CRM program and automated drip campaigns and the buy side and listing side and holiday drip campaigns, then you make sure that yours are set up in your CRM program. You make sure that you have a CRM program. You make sure that all of your contacts are uploaded and they're tagged properly. And if they don't have a tag, you're like, oh shoot, I don't have a tag. Then you're going to go in, you're going to go through those and you're going to say, okay, this person closed on 123 Main Street, I represented the seller. Okay, I'm going to hashtag seller. This person on this street, I was on the buy side. Okay, I'm going to tag them buyers. Because when you tag these things in your database, then you can automatically just send them an email. Then you're not sending it to everybody who's your aunt and uncle and cousin and a buyer and a seller and a renter if it doesn't apply to them. So if I'm talking about how much your home is worth, I'm not going to talk to a buyer who's searching for one right now that's currently homeless.
Right.
Yeah, so by tagging them, so all of this is, I teach you everything, literally how I built everything from zero to where Gogo's real estate is today, but I can't do that in an hour. So the bootcamp is hours and hours and hours. You'll get lifetime access. So what we did though, we broke it down. We used to have an upfront cost for it only. And I understand times are hard. So we changed that. Now they can do upfront. If you can afford it, you can do an upfront cost. You have lifetime access, which means everything that we come out with, not only everything that's already created is yours, but everything we come out is just automatically going to be included, because Instagram changes the algorithm every 5 minutes. So I have to recreate a whole new video because things that worked last year, it doesn't work this year. Just like we were talking about, why is Facebook so slow? I don't know, but it's time to kind of take it easy on it until Facebook figures it out. So what we did is we broke it up into monthly payments. So now it's 4 small monthly payments, and your customers actually get a 10% discount, your listeners. Yeah. So they get a better price if they just go to your page. But yeah, so we try to adjust it. As times are changing, I always put in new content. I try to adjust the price so it's easier for everybody to afford. But this is the time. If you are serious about social media and you want to build a brand and you want to be able, what I call, to fish, My goal is to teach you how to fish, not to give you a fish. So it's not about me giving you a lead. It's about me teaching you how to go and find one, how to have them reach out to you.
Yeah, now's the time to remember that as real estate agents, this is a business and it is your business. And now
And
you
you
have to,
are your
yeah,
business.
you have to work on the processes. Now's the time to work on process. And, for when you're in the middle of the busy season, you don't have time to study social media platforms and to, create posts for Google My Business. By the way, everybody should have a Google My Business account and should be creating posts every single week. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick. But the point is, you might go, well, I don't normally have the time to do that. You do now. And so now is the time to invest in something like Gogo's Bootcamp. We're doing this as a company. My boss asked all of us in management, there's 9 of us, to find some sort of course that we wanted to take, and we all chose different courses, and we're all doubling down on our efforts too, because now is the time to develop those skill sets, those things that when you're in the middle of running your business, you just don't have the time to do. So
yeah,
now's the time.
I always wanted to figure out stocks. I never had the time. So I figured, okay, well, perfect time. Market crashed, stocks are at the bottom, so I can buy now 5 stocks for the price of 1, and it's the perfect time to kind of figure it out. So I decided to learn how to stock trade while the downtime. I decided to read books. I started my own podcast. We added 108, I think, videos to the bootcamp. I added personally to the organic side, God knows how many. So it's just like, I'm busier than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's funny that, this is, and it doesn't, you're busy in just a different way. Mm-hmm. And now it's just, this is the time to invest in yourself, and invest in your customers, invest in the people that put their faith into you and that allowed you to sell them a home 5 years ago. Reach back out, see how they're doing. Even if you haven't reached out in 5 years, reach out now and say, I haven't checked in on you in a while. I want to check in now. How are you? And just keep it to that. Anyway, develop your skills, do that, because when it gets busy again, and it will, and hopefully sooner rather than later, you're not going to have this time anymore. It'll just go away, and we'll all be busy, busier than we are maybe right now. So now's the time. And just so our listeners, as Gogo was mentioning, if you want to invest in Gogo's Bootcamp, and we could not recommend it more highly. I've always felt that is never a bad investment to purchase something where you can learn how to grow your business, right? That is a no-brainer. I will spend money all day long on that. And now she's got additional payment options for people that are, struggling financially. So that's even amazing as well. So go to gogopodcast.com to get that special discount. Again, gogopodcast.com. But Gogo, I think we had a great episode here. I think we talked a lot about, the attitudes that realtors can take right now, and some steps specifically about how to just keep going and hopefully staying positive through the challenging times.
Absolutely. You have to adjust to the times. I mean, real estate especially is such a quickly changing industry. When it comes to technology, especially just think about it. I didn't even know what dot loop was when I got my license 9 years ago. I wouldn't know what to do without it right now. I get paid at the closing table. I take a picture of my check, and that's how I get paid. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we are constantly adjusting, and it just kind of prepares us to whatever life throws at us. You just adjust. You just figure it out. Oh, I'm not essential. Okay, I'll figure out how I can list a home, how I can sell a home, how I can market a home, how I can get to the closing table without ever leaving my house.
Yeah. And how you can develop additional skills in between all of those things by taking courses like Gogo's Bootcamp, or reading books, or going to seminar, or virtual seminars. I took a yoga class yesterday. I am not a yoga person. I did yoga yesterday.
How did you like it?
Well, I am tall, as you know, and I have never been able to touch my toes without bending. And so that is never going to happen. But so I'm super inflexible. So that it was really hard. But I enjoyed it because it was physical, And,
Yoga
it
is
centered
awesome. It's
me.
great for the body. It's great for the mind. The very
Yeah.
first time, I'm from Eastern Europe. We don't do yoga in Eastern Europe. And the first time I went to a yoga class by accident, because I thought it was like an aerobics class or something. And I got there an hour early or something. I was like, oh shoot, I'm in a yoga class. Well, I didn't want to walk out like 10 minutes in, realizing it's a yoga class. So I sat through it. Oh my gosh, I was so sore the day after. I literally got in the car. I had to pick up my leg and pull it in the car because I couldn't lift it up. I've never been so sore in my life. And I realized it's great for the mind, especially at the very end. I always fall asleep when they're like, okay, it's like a 3-minute meditation. And then at the end, they're like, hey, Gogo, we are all leaving. I just knocked myself out. I don't know. I learned to love it.
Yeah. And now again, a new skill, right? This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time and I never found the time. I never carved it out. Could I have carved it out? Sure, I could have, but I didn't. But now I have less of an excuse. So now's the time to develop those skills. Try the things that you know are good for you. Develop those morning rituals. Develop those social media rituals that you're like, I know I should be posting more, but I'm not. I know I should be connecting more with my sphere of influence on social media, but I'm not. I know I should friend everyone on LinkedIn that is in my sphere, but I never did. Now's the time, because when everything goes back to normal, that's when the dividends will pay themselves. And all of a sudden you'll have client upon client upon client that'll remember that you were there for them during this time, and that you weren't hiding away in a bunker. Even though you were away in a bunker, you were still present and active. So yeah, I think that's our message.
I mean, if you think about it, New York, perfect example. They're not allowed to cold call. We're
I
not allowed
know.
to move our houses. We're not essentially in Michigan. Like the list of things I'm not allowed to do is very long. Pretty much the only things that it allows me to do is social media.
Yeah, it's funny. Right after we're done here, I'm going to be talking to a broker in New York who has a firm of about 400 agents. We're friendly, so we're just checking in, seeing how he's doing. But yes, he can't cold call brokers to come work at his firm. His brokers cannot cold call clients. All of that has gone away, and
until
yet
September.
Yeah. And so now we're all adjusting. We're trying different things. We're developing other skills so that when this all goes back to normal, those skills will remain, and hopefully some of those habits will stick. So we could not recommend more highly. Are you sick of paying for leads, or not being able to afford to pay for leads, or just going, I know I should be doing more in social media, but I'm not sure how? Gogo's Bootcamp, it has our highest possible recommendation. We don't recommend any courses really except that one and one or two others. So this is really, we couldn't be more assertive in telling you, really, this is the time to invest in yourself. So
I
check it out.
I think it's 10 years of knowledge, plugged right into that course. And the way I look at it, just let's do a simple math. What do you think nationwide average commission is?
On a transaction?
Yeah.
5,000, maybe it's less.
So let's say it's $5,000 on one transaction alone.
Yeah.
So if I can generate you one transaction, just one, we're not talking one. 10, not talking the 60 million I did. We're talking that one transaction that would pay for the course 5 times. The course would pay for itself 5 times over if it's shitty enough to only get you one transaction.
Right. Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a total no-brainer. And now's the time to double down on those efforts. And look, none of us are feeling comfortable right now. Nobody's comfortable, but that's okay, because out of discomfort, it creates energy. And this is where you can take that energy and harness it and learn new things. So realize that we're all a little on edge and irritated and claustrophobic, but yet, okay, that's true. Yes, we're all feeling that way, but we also can take that energy and push it in a positive direction and use it to learn stuff. And then once everything's back to normal, it's going to happen. We will be back to normal at some point. And then you will have gone, oh, this is not vacation time, right? And I think it's easy for all of us to feel like this is vacation. It is not. This is time to invest in yourself. And so Gogo's Bootcamp is a great idea. And it's just full of really great information too. So we encourage all the listeners to check it out. Also, please, everybody follow Gogo on Instagram, which is Gogo's Real Estate, GOGOS Real Estate. We'll also be posting that link. But Gogo, once again, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you on behalf of the listeners for continuing to show up month after month. We appreciate it. The listeners appreciate it. On behalf of Gogo and myself, to the listeners, we say thank you for continuing to support Gogo, our show. Tell a friend. Think of one other realtor that could benefit from hearing from this conversation we just had, and from all the conversations we have with the great guests that are kind enough to do our show, and send them a link to our podcast. And also, please follow us on Facebook as well. We're facebook.com/keeping it real pod. If you're on there right now, you might be watching us recording this live. If not, go there and you'll be able to see us record every one of our episodes live. And we also post an article every single day that we find online designed to help you grow your business. Gogo, thank you again. We hope you guys get out of, we hope you become essential quickly in Michigan so you can go do more stuff.
I can hardly wait to be back in Rio. The little things, like I want to grab Starbucks on the way to somewhere, and I want to wear high heels. I want my hair to blow in the wind in the car, like just little things. The little things in life is what I miss. But thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for everyone who listened and gave us the time of the day. And happy selling.
Happy selling. Thanks. We'll see you guys on the next episode.